And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today we're talking about two of the most recent free agents in the National Football League in Jaire Alexander and Germaine Pratt. We're going to be talking about if it makes sense for the Washington Commanders to sign either of these players. And so before we go ahead and we jump into it, I first want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, just like Jayden Daniels is going to be hitting Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz, and many others for multiple touchdowns this upcoming season. And so in exchange for hitting that subscribe button, I'm going to give you nothing but daily content around the Washington Commanders. And so make sure that you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and you join the Washington Commanders Insider family as we talk nothing but Washington Commanders football. And so with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. And so if you've not got a chance to see, both of these players have most recently been released by their teams. And so let's start with Jaire Alexander, cornerback that was with the Green Bay Packers. And so if you're not familiar with his game, Jaire Alexander would bring some nastiness to the secondary because he loves to come up and run support. And he is a player that knows how to generate interceptions because he has 12 INTs for his career in 7 seasons. And so looking a little bit more into the stats for Jaire Alexander, this was according to ESPN. 2018 to 2022, he was tied for the third most pass breakups. However, in 2023 and 2024, he's been tied for 126 because he's missed a lot of games with knee, shoulder issues and things like that. And so he's missed a ton of games, I believe 20 missed games over the last 2 seasons. And so let's talk about just the fit with Jaire Alexander. And so I think that this is something that the Washington Commanders should certainly be interested in. I'm not willing to say that they would go out and sign him because of the injury history, but I think if you're looking to add a player into the secondary that could provide some more run support, he's definitely that player. And if you're looking to generate some more turnovers, I feel like that Alexander is certainly that type of player that you want to bring in. And so because of those, you have some interest, but the issue with him is staying on the field. So when you look at the numbers for him, this is what it is broken down for him over his 7-year career. So he only played in 13 games in year 1. He came back and had 16 in year 2. In year 3, 15. But in 2021, only 4 games. In 2022, he had 16 games played. And then in 2023 and 2024, just 7 games in both of those seasons. But when you look at the INTs, again, this is a guy that since he's entered into the league, he has found ways to generate turnovers. He had an interception in year 1. He came back and got 2 in year 2. Then he had an interception in the next couple seasons. And in 2022, which was his best season out there, 5 INTs, and then he didn't have an interception in 2023. And even with the injuries last season in 2024, he still found a way to get 2 INTs. And so when you're looking at him comparatively speaking to Marshon Lattimore, who has played in 9 seasons, right now he has 12 INTs for his career. But when you look at Lattimore, he has 15 in his career over 9 seasons. And so I think that one could only imagine how many more interceptions that Alexander would have had he been on the field. And so when he's out there, he's elite. But the issue is, can he stay out there? And so I don't think that the Washington Commanders would want to go out and sign him because of that. But I could see where there could be some interest because I think at this point in time, his next contract, it's not going to be that big. I think that you can bring him in and he could be a rotational piece for you. And I do think that he could be a bit of an insurance policy that if Marshon Lattimore does go down and he's healthy, then this would be a terrific sub in for you to put Jaire Alexander out there. And so I think that that helps you. And I just love his experience. And I think that that really plays into what the Washington Commanders have built. I think that this is why this team is really turned it in a different direction, is because they have brought in some pieces that have done some real things in this league, because he's a 2-time Pro Bowler and he's also a 2-time All-Pro. And so this guy knows how to get it done. He's seen a lot of variations on the offensive end, so it's not like you're going to trick him out there. And so this is a player that would bring that veteran leadership. The question is, could he stay on the field? And so I think because of the injury history, I think that this is something that the Washington Commanders should stay away from. from, but definitely I think that they're looking at that situation. And so the next player that I wanted to talk about here was Germaine Pratt. And so with Germaine Pratt, he just got recently released by the Cincinnati Bengals. And if you're not familiar with him, this guy is a tackling machine. And so he's 29 years old. And he's played in 6 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. And when we're talking about a tackling machine, I believe he was top 10 in tackles last season. He had over 100 tackles the last 2 seasons. And so this guy is terrific, I think, in run support and coming up and getting tackles. Now, he's not the greatest in pass coverage or anything like that, but still, when you're talking about coming up and being an impact in the run game, that is something that the Washington Commanders would absolutely want. And I think that when you look at what he would bring to the defense with the versatility, much like Alexander, you're getting a player that has been more reliable in the sense that he's been healthy, because 16 games in year 1, 16 games in year 2, played in 15 in 2021. He played in 15 in 2022, and then 17 games in 23 and 2024. And so he's been very reliable. And like I said before, he is a tackling machine. Now, he's not big on the sacks, only 3.5 sacks for his career, but he also has 7 forced fumbles. And so those can very much be turnovers. He has 5 fumbles that he's recovered in his career. And so, look, even though he's not getting the INTs and he's not great in coverage, he's terrific as far as punching the football loose. And so I love the fact that he'll come up and run support. I love the fact that he's always looking to punch the football away. And he had 10.5 stuffs last year. And so that is terrific numbers for a linebacker that will come up and be disruptive and hopefully create some negative plays. And I think that if you're looking to add Germaine Pratt to Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner, I think that Joe Wood Jr. would love this, because you're adding some more versatility to this defense in the sense that you get some more length, you get some more power up front. And so I like this, and this really fits into what Coach Joe Wood Jr. was talking about with this defense, and really why he feels that it's going to be on the next level this upcoming year, because he has players that he really feels fits the schemes and the way that they want to run the defense. And I think at 6'3", 250, excellent size, I like Germaine Pratt as a player that the Washington Commanders certainly should take a look at. And so the question is, will Adam Peters make a move here? Because I think that there are going to be a lot of different situations that are going to come up with players that are going to get released due to salary cap issues and just also to just fit issues. You got players that you got some younger players that get drafted that just outplay some of these vets and things like that. And when you're adding either of these players into your building, I think that they're playing for so much more. So that's why if you're looking at a Jaire Alexander and wondering, like, what would you get out of that? For him to step on, the field with the Commanders and have a chance to win a Super Bowl, maybe that's enough motivation for him to just lock in and hopefully stay healthy. And I mean, I know it's tough out there in the National Football League. We know how physical that game can be, but I just think that you get some added motivation if you have a chance to win a Super Bowl. And the same with Germaine Pratt. He's been there before. Giving him another chance, maybe it's just not about just the contract. It's all about winning at this point in time. So I think that you could get a value deal, which is something that I've talked about with Adam Peters before, getting guys over that have had some experience, that are hungry. Both of these players really, I think, fit what Adam Peters is looking for from a standpoint of just being hungry and can be impactful. But I think that Germaine Pratt would be the player that I would go with. I would much rather go ahead and take a gamble with that versus Jaire Alexander, because right now with Trey Amos, I think that he's trending in the right direction. I think he is set to have a very good season, and I'm banking on the fact that Marshawn Lattimore is going to come back into form this upcoming season. But we'll see what happens as mandatory mini camps get ready to take place for the Washington Commanders. And so anyway, you guys let me know in the comments, do you like either of these players to the Washington Commanders? Do you want Jaire Alexander to come through for the Washington Commanders, maybe to add a little bit more to the secondary and give us a bit more punch back there? Or would you go with a guy like Germaine Pratt, who's recently released by the Bengals? Again, I think he would be excellent in the run support, and he's terrific as far as causing fumbles and things like that. So both of these players are very good as far as generating some turnovers and things like that, which is something that this defense would love to have this year, especially with a potent offense. And so you guys let me know in the comments what you're thinking. And as we always say, go Commanders, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.